Hello and welcome everyone. If you thought Spider-Man No Way Home was going to be the biggest Spider-Man movie ever, you might be right. With at least 5 villains, rumors of returning Spider-Man, a record-breaking trailer, and the concept of the multiverse opening it all up, Spider-Man No Way Home plays just about every trump card it has to claim the title of next Avengers Endgame. For the most part, everything works. Just make sure you've seen all the previous Spider-Man movies. Despite an inevitably tangled web of characters, backstories, and motivations, No Way Home manages a surprisingly tidy plot if you understand where each player comes from. Watch Spider-Man's back catalog and you'll be in the know as to why the people at the back of the theater are cheering at any given moment. For this video, I will try to avoid major spoilers, but I will give you a spoiler alert. But before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that out of the way, let's get started with the video. If you're here for simply a well-oiled and entertaining Marvel and Sony flick, you won't be disappointed. You might not fully appreciate the scale of what's essentially the live-action equivalent of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, aka the best or second best Spider-Man movie ever. But you'll be treated to likable heroes with relatable character development, slick, dynamic action scenes, weird, wacky humor, high stakes, powerful emotional punches, and at least one incredible one-liner, delivered by Aunt May of all people. Basically, this is the Tom Holland Spider-Man movie that feels most like the previous Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield installments. Director Jon Watts deals with real consequences, a darker tone in general, and a recognizable New York setting with a few Marvel Cinematic Universe touches. In other words, the third Holland entry truly makes up for the filler that was Spider-Man Far From Home. The basic premise sees Peter Parker deal with the fallout of events right at the end of Far From Home. His secret identity is known to the public, combined with a small fabricated detail, the murdered Mysterio. Now, with a savage media after him, fronted by the glorious but underused J. Jonah Jameson, Peter must adjust to a difficult existence chased into the uncomfortable spotlight of the public eye. If you gathered this plot point from the record-breaking trailer, you could argue it isn't reason enough to warrant Peter's next decision, going to Doctor Strange and requesting the sorcerer cast a spell that reverses everything back to normal. This idea begins as sweet hijinks in keeping with the John Hughes-influenced high school fun and games of Holland's first 2 outings. But what follows is a surprising, expectations-toying spectacle with a deeper thematic heft. Marvel advertised the inclusion of returning villains, including the Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Electro, Sandman, and the Lizard. Maybe this was to warn you to study up on their backstories. Only 1 or 2 lines are provided to explain why each villain reacts in the way they do to a storyline that plunges them into a different universe. The standouts are the Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus. Thanks to Marvel's digital de-aging technology, Dafoe and Molina mostly look like they did nearly 2 decades ago when they appeared in Sam Raimi's original Spider-Man trilogy. Mostly because sometimes it looks like an Instagram beauty filter has been placed strategically over certain parts of the screen. The visual effects in general have been parceled out and tapered down so that we don't have to sift through the effects-heavy murk storm of Far From Home. The action scenes, featuring hand-to-hand combat, feel more practical and visceral. Grittier, sweatier, bloodier. A first-person perspective straps you in for a dizzying ride with Spider-Man swinging from A to B. Small details, such as Peter using his webs to grab things around Aunt May's apartment, add welcome charm and color. This time Peter also exercises his spidey senses, so that the often joke about Peter Tingle is now a real asset, one that we can finally feel too, via sound effects. And a close-up on Holland's face. A sequence with Doctor Strange is not only trippy and eye-popping, but it gives Peter a chance to use his other superpower, his brain. Holland's iteration, while younger than the previous 2, rarely has the opportunities to utilize this less flashy asset. A scientific prodigy in the comics, Holland's on-screen version verges on being painted as a frustratingly naive and gullible athlete. But this time around, he fares much better, though Spidey's trademark quips, apart from one scene with Doc Ock, are still sorely lacking. And that's it for today. Make sure to subscribe for more videos related to Spider-Man No Way Home and other upcoming Marvel and DC movies. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.